Today we'll have another endgame scenario that we'll be looking at and seeing how we could help white win the game. Otherwise, black, the black king, is actually looking for a draw in this game. So let's go down to the game. Black has two pawns. One is on the threads, and then white has got not enough officers, not enough materials to probably win the game. But there's always a way out if you think properly. Sometimes you utilize the materials in the right way and you may win the game. But most times it's not really easy to have the bishop, just one bishop, able to checkmate the game. But let's see this special scenario and see how things work out. The first move by white is very, very important to be able to win this game. If white doesn't make that right move, they probably would end up losing the game. They'll end up drawing this game, or if possible, they may even lose the game because black has got two pawns. If they manage it properly, they may threaten a win in this game. But let's see the best move for white. If white cancels or takes out the pawn on h7, the black pawn on h7 using the g6 pawn, let's go like this, for example. What the king does, the black king does, is just to easily move, to g7, and there's no way they would not be able to capture the pawn on h7 because there's nobody protecting it, or there's no other piece protecting it, and it ends up being captured and the game ends in a draw. So let's go back to the original scenario. So the next best move for and also white can decide to move the king closer. White moves the king closer. Black just takes out the pawn on g7, g6, and the game is a draw. So white must make a very definite move, a very strategic move if they want something out of this game. So we have a bishop, and let's see what happens if we move the bishop all the way to h6, checking the king. So right now, the king is checked. The king cannot legally move to f7, and also the king is under check from the from g7. So the king can actually move two legal spots, either to e8 or to move to g8. If the king moves to e8, for example, to e8, white captures h7 and threatens to mate or to win the game on the next one move. So the king would not want to go there. The king would rather want to go close to the h7 pawn to be able to protect it from being captured by the white g6 pawn. So the next move that is the best for white after that king move is to protect the g pawn, the g6 pawn, advance the g6 pawn to g7. The bishop is protecting it, would prevent the king from capturing, prevents the king from going further to h8 to hide, would also keep the king from getting to the f7 spot. So the legal move for the king to safety would either be f7, or the king can advance the pawn on e6 forward to threaten the king in order to escape, right? So if the king thinks about having this pawn exposed and trying to keep away the white pawn on g7 from getting to become a queen, the black king moves closer to the to the pawn on e7, so that the white king doesn't have the opportunity to come anywhere close to this pawn, the black pawn on e7. So this situation looks good for black. Looks like black will probably end up having a draw, or maybe even possibly get to a winning position. So in this situation, for white to get anything out of this game, white has to promote and sacrifice this pawn on g7 to become a queen. So major sacrifice is done here. A queen is on board. And the queen threatens the black king. The black king has nowhere to go. So what does the black king, or the only option the black king has got to do is to take out the queen. Yes, so this makes the game look more like a draw. The next move by white is very critical in making sure that this game is a one game. So I'll let you think for a few seconds before I proceed. If you can, please go to the comment section and tell me what you think the next move should be. Alright, so the next move by white to make this game a winning game is to move the king close to the pawn right now. So after sacrificing the queen, moves to capture the pawn on e7. That's like the trick. So legally, the king cannot move to e8, to f8. The king cannot move to f7. The king cannot move to g7. The only safe spot for the king, the only legally safe spot for the king to move to is h8. That is it. No more, no less. There's nowhere to go to. The next move for white, which is a very strategic and winning move, would be to move the king to f7. f7, making sure the king is trapped, cannot move to g8. The king cannot move to g7. So making the only move that's left for black in this situation is for that free pawn to the pawn on e7 to advance. So let's say it takes a double leap, or even takes a single leap. Let's say it takes a double leap just to escape and maybe have a pathway to become a queen. Now we go to the fatal and deadly move by white to win the game. So white just moves the bishop on h6 close to the king is protecting it, and checking the black king on g7. In this situation, this is a checkmate. There's nowhere for the black to move. The black cannot move to g8, the black cannot cancel the bishop on g7, and that makes it, makes the game come to an end, is a checkmate. So that's the only way and the strategic way for white to win in a situation like this. So I want to say thanks for watching. Hopefully this has exposed some tips to you, and if you think you have a better way to get a draw, or you think there's a better way to get a win, or you think it's impossible, this moves, please make the comment in the comment section, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.